Oh my god.
Hello and welcome to Depth Talk. Today we are covering the first 6 episodes of our favorite Star Wars show, Andor, a Star Wars story. Let's go.
It is.
Our favorite Star Wars show. So many assumptions.
Well, it is. It is the best Star Wars show. It's the best Star Wars in Star Wars. That's why I always say.
I know you do.
Rewatching not Phantom Menace, what am I saying? Episode 3 on the cinema definitely brought back some of like that Star Wars, because Star Wars love. My hope was gone for a while there, but I don't know. Rewatching it brought back a little bit of like, okay, well, this is why I like Star Wars. And like I remember after watching it now in the cinema, the re-release was like, damn, I can't wait to go and watch, Andor. It's like, damn, it's like Star Wars is back. There's other Star Wars games coming out that seem to be pretty interesting. Like right now, it feels like
There's
it
hope.
feels good to be a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Which I never thought I would
Say again, yeah.
That was a very good start to build some atmospheres, to build some tension, to show where he's at 1 year later, and to have some excitement at the very beginning, some Star Wars spice stuff, because then after that we get into the drama, the development, the deepening of what's going on.
Great start. I love the speech he gives. The speech.
You're coming home to yourself.
Yeah, fucking great. Great ending to that. It echoes where we left off. Like, oh, I want to join the rebellion. I want to start doing things. And then you see him doing things.
Is it a TIE Defender?
I was wondering, maybe it is, because it looks like the
one
ones
of
that
the-
Thrawn was into building and stuff. So, like, it looks like it's those
Yeah.
stuff, the ones. Like,
But
the
the
prototype
weaponry,
was way more
I was
crazy.
looking at, way more advanced
Yeah.
and like crazy with like the miniguns and stuff.
It was like a
So it's
prototype
not-
base, right? So,
Yeah, so I don't think it's anything.
yeah.
I would say,
Yeah.
because in the games, base all my Starfighter knowledge is from the games and like
Oh, yeah.
Empire at War or
Classic.
Battlefront.
Mhm.
I don't think they never had like guns like this. The
The
miniguns coming out
miniguns.
from them or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So it's gotta be its own creation.
Yeah,
prototype.
definitely looked like it.
If you ever wanted to see pleasant daily British TV soap opera in Star Wars,
Right.
you got it with the whole wedding arc.
Oh, yeah. 3-day wedding, that has some Indian influence there, I think, with that
Okay.
stuff.
Mhm.
Especially with like some of like, especially
In
with the Chandrillan stuff,
Shangri-La?
with all the longer clothing and things like that. Where you're like, oh, okay, cool. So this is how these random Chandrillans do shit, like weirdly archaic in such a futuristic world, but like,
Not all humans are the same.
no.
In Star Wars, like they all have the different human cultures.
Yeah.
It's not the basic like D&D human man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
There's some guy from Brie.
Exactly.
Like, the whole wedding arc is great. I fucking hate Mos Espa's daughter. Like, it's that thing of, like, she's obviously, like, a child and falling under weird, like, social norms of her traditional, like,
Almost
home planet.
like cultish.
Right, well, that's right, and that's the thing. It's like you have her mom and her aunt being like such an old school way of doing shit. We didn't want to do it. Mom Mothma clearly ended up having to do it while her sister didn't have to. Good for her. But then it's that thing of like, it's like, goddamn, like this old school shit's coming back to the modern, to the new generation, and they're
This is
into
like
it.
the Empire bringing it back, like the old values.
See,
or
that's the
something,
interesting
trying
thing to me.
like,
I actually really found that that was just one of those things that just had nothing to do with the Empire. Like, the Emperor couldn't give a fuck about what Chandrillans are doing getting married. It just happens to be one of those like cultural aspects of a world that like the Empire isn't fucking with, but it itself is fucking stupid. Yeah. Which is kind of great. You have all the other like civilizations and stuff that the Empire is coming and messing with and disturbing. But then here's one that they're not doing anything with it. They don't really give a shit. But it's just a fucking mess.
Yeah, I felt that way too about it, because it seems like they're so unbothered by what's really happening, and that's you see that through the fact that Luthen and Mos Espa are doing their intricate, of course, double lives at the same time, trying to live that. And then as everyone is doing the ceremony and celebrating and dancing, Mos Espa's reaction to that is like trying to just like hold back and not like let loose and go crazy, because what's happening, we're just just turning a blind eye to everything that's going on, and that's what it's all about. Like we spent the whole ceremony just to see that at the very end of it. Like why did we do this?
How much can you live a double life? Like, yeah, you're comfy and rich, right? You have the comforts that like someone like Andor and Bix and all the other gang don't.
Yeah.
But like you're being watched for that comfort, and like they live in a squabble, but they're hiding from the Empire. But these people are in the middle of the Empire, surviving within the storm type idea, right? It's like, and that's what's really compelling, because sure, they have the high life, all that stuff. You have the husband that's just like enjoying his rich life, complaining to his wife about like cheating on him. Like, okay, well,
pressure's way higher,
right? Because you're right there. Like if they think you're done, there's no it's run.
And plus, she's a politician, so for her, I would say it's even more, because she has to fight the Empire from within. And
but by her fucking up, does that result for a bad lighting for all Chandrillans? Like, are you like it's like are you the grander whole, right? Like, how much of your individual actions account for more than you could possibly imagine? Which is ironically, I think, is one of the themes of Andor, is how one person's actions can influence so many other people in a domino effect without even knowing, and can be played by others to their advantage or disadvantage. It's like everyone's actions could have the most consequences in unforeseen pieces. Great. The Andor show is a series of domino effects by everyone.
But it's also one of those shows that has earned its place to be like, we're going to spend time on you seeing this culture live and do this thing while we're doing character development in the midst of it. And we can have dialogue that has double meanings and subtext. Yeah. So because Luthen and Mom have to talk in a way where they don't draw suspicion at the wedding, for example. Yeah. And then you have Take Coleman, right? Like the guy who is in trouble because he invested in the rebellion, and here's also...
And then some random things in his life fucked up, and now he's like, I could use some money, Mommy Mothma, and she's like, we'll figure it out. And then Luthen's like, he's fucking
a liability, gotta go.
He's fucking dead. Like, every time you see Luthen in the background, he's just scowling. Like, in that party, you just you see Luthen just scowling in the background. Like.
And that creates tension for the whole situation.
Oh yeah.
And what do you think of that, by the way? Because you don't need to spell out the fact that they're gonna kill him. Like, they don't need to say it. You don't need to show that he dies. What do you think of that?
It's one of those things where the simple answer is, depending on the person, it'll either be obvious or it's just gonna fly over your head. It's such an individual thing for people. I think it's clear. Yeah. I was like, that guy's dead. That guy's taking a card ride to the beyond. That guy's getting pushed out of his limo above his house in Chandrilla and getting murdered. Like, ciao bella.
He's sleeping with the fish.
That's right.
And that shows you how you, as an audience, you have to pay attention. You're not going to be spoon-fed. You actually have to watch.
Really not.
You have to actually go back sometimes, and it rewards on a rewatch. Because then when you go back, you see so many more details that they put into everything. And the one part I might not be as excited to rewatch is the rebel people on what is revealed to be Yavin.
Yeah. That part was the weak part, and it was the way of saying we want to move so many of the other pieces, but we can't just not do anything with Andor, because the show is called Andor. Yeah. So we're going to put him in the situation where like some shit went down, and he's kind of like he's in a little bit of a bubble episode for those 2 episodes.
Yeah, that's true.
But because there's so many other moving pieces, you kind of have to, because it's more focused on the wedding than it is on him outside of the first episode, which you kind of had to start with him.
Yeah, and I feel like the way they portrayed these like random rebels guys, like I see what they're going for with trying to show off like the
disorganized mess,
united front. But then again, we already saw that kind of last season. But like, I think they could have portrayed them better than to make them just like incompetent idiots. You know what I mean? Like, they can still be ideology different, like factions or like. No. But it felt very like childish type of like the way they acted. But then again, maybe that's what they're.
I mean, they went full Lord of the Flies, I would call that.
I see the idea, and I also see that you're supposed to be frustrated by it, but it becomes one of those frustrations where like I don't feel like I want to revisit that part of the story. I just want Andor to get out of there and leave those guys there, because they clearly were not likable, and that was not the point for them to be. And it's just a little bit of an annoying thing. But I get it from like a a logistical point of view, an intellectual 100%. Point of view. I get 100%. It from there. So like,
did you guys see what planet it was?
Yavin.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. So, but what are they gonna do with that? Because like, are these guys now
dead?
The Yavin rebels?
They're dead.
I mean, like, are they gonna come back and they'll be like, oh look, I don't know. That's why I'm like,
dead.
They showed off it's Yavin, but Yavin 4, but like, are these guys still gonna be there once they come back?
Fuck, they're dead.
You know what I mean? That's why
they got eaten by the creatures.
You just think they're dead?
Oh yeah,
you think
they're dead?
I mean, they could be in the background.
God no, they're dead. I tell you why they're dead.
I was rooting for Beast.
I feel like they're gonna do something more with it. Like maybe because of these guys, that's why they choose Yavin 4 as a base. Like, hey, they find like an old radio or something. Like, hey, this come here. I don't know. It just felt like, okay, if they're just gonna be dead, I mean, it makes sense because they're all
idiots,
stupid. But yeah.
Yeah, I know. I think they're just fucking dead.
So once he got out of there, I felt like, yeah, come on, get out of there, or go back to the other planets, the farm planet where you see the Ferry's crew.
Watching some of those scenes from that planet, I got vibes of Rebel Moon.
Oh God! I never saw it, but I'm glad I didn't.
Did you see it, Paul?
He saw it.
I didn't see it, but I understand what you mean because there's a lot of fields and farming areas.
Yeah, because they're also like farmer, Nordic-ish looking people.
Obviously, they are illegals because they escaped from the situation in Ferrix. They take influence from World War II here, implementing an empire, like of course. Yeah. Germany at the time, and them being kind of like Jews in hiding, and then you have the guy who is trying to tell the empire, oh, I'm going to send you away to be on like another workplace so they don't see you, but then they do the typical inspection anyway, leads to tension, and then Brasso, like that guy is such a good guy anyway, even if he's trying to like, oh, you gave it away to us, so that even he is safe. So like those kinds of things, I don't think a lot of people do pick up on that on the first watch. Like they go, oh no, he just revealed.
Oh no, he was a traitor.
He was a traitor, but then no.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's trying to help him. He's trying to be a good guy.
Yeah.
And the dialogue is being smart about it.
Oh, I didn't get that. But now when you say it, it makes so much sense.
He looks at him and then he goes like, you betrayed us. The guy's like, what? And then like at that moment, I'm like, he's just trying to keep him safe. Like, look, you helped us enough. Like, don't get fucked along with us. It was like, you betrayer.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's that. Oh, because I was watching, I got so pissed. I was like, "Fuck, get the ship and shoot those guys like before you go."
no.
But that makes sense.
Yeah,
now.
he was like, no. Thank you for everything you did. Fuck you.
Yeah. So he doesn't get in trouble. Yeah.
He was a good man.
See how the show keeps on like giving you back as you come back and
that's hero. Right now. I just got a realization. Oh my God, I'm the idiot here. I was about to kill this fuck. Like,
and of course we got the kid. Willman has to say goodbye there because he's got some romantic connections. So of course that creates even more of a difficulty and challenge because they gotta get out of there pretty quick. And then
the personal sacrifice.
They say goodbye to our droid, Marva. Poor droid. I wonder if we'll see him again.
No.
For him.
That's right. We're getting a new better droid.
K2SO.
That's right.
Mr. Tudyk.
Oh yeah, that's right. He hasn't showed up yet.
Yeah. Either next arc or the last one, but hopefully this one coming up, it'll be a little nicer to get him.
So then we come to the controversial assault scene.
Yep.
Or do we call it controversial or not?
Yeah, it is controversial for people. Yeah, easy. People are complaining about it real hard on the internet.
Here's what I felt about that in retrospect is that it's not out of place tonally for this show in particular, but it does feel out of place when you think about the grand scheme of the Star Wars universe. It can feel a little, did we need to go that far?
Right.
Sure, we already know the Empire is despicable.
Right.
You wanted to hone it down even more.
I would be surprised that one random dude of the Empire is out there doing exactly what we've seen in countless like war movies where it's like, oh, there's a German guy being like, yeah, my young Fräulein, I won't tell the Nazis that you're here if you give me a little frolic. It's basically it's exactly what it is. And we've seen this in 1,000 war movies and those kind of stories. And that, like you said, does it fit in Star Wars? That's the simple question that people are asking.
Yeah.
Fair question to ask.
Well, I just for me, I'm still kind of like divided on it. Watching it at first definitely came a little bit as a shock.
Yeah.
Because it didn't feel like Star Wars for me at first.
Are they? Oh fuck, they are. Like.
Yeah. Like, are they gonna go that far? Are they like? stuff like this has happened in Star Wars. Like it's always been implied, never said, but we know.
Yeah.
Like just Jabba's palace in its whole is just like
disgusting.
But I guess there may be some type of like filter or some type of like you know what I mean? It was still like distant in a way.
Yes. Yeah, I know, you're right.
But here they went all in, and as you guys been saying, like for this show, it fits thematically, like it does. But that's why like I understand both sides. Like if you're coming from someone that's like an old school Star Wars fan, you know, you're into like the 70s, 80s Star Wars, which is more like the fantasy based one.
Yeah.
I can see how this can come as like a huge like, what is this? Like this is not what this is supposed to be. But I've always been on the side that I've always been pushing for, like, you know, I want the mature dark Star Wars stuff. So I guess, you know, I got what I wanted. So.
True.
That's I think is the most fair point to give. That yes, if you do feel like I don't know if I wanted to touch those subjects, then that is fair. But it is tonally fitting to what this is.
The discussion for me was the simple thought I had was it all comes down to individual perspective of what is, let's call it, you know, whatever, traumatic, but in the sense of like, what kind of trauma does your average person deal with? More sadly speaking, obviously, people in your deal of an average trauma of maybe sexual abuse than being burned at the crisp after having your limbs cut off by your master. I wouldn't call that child friendly, watching a guy going, "Oh, I hate you," while after his legs were cut off, burning alive in lava.
I wasn't allowed to see that scene as a kid, so.
Oh, I didn't remember that. Oh, that's right. Pauli said you couldn't go to the theater to see it. That's like, where do we draw the line of what is like extremist, like, you know, they say killed younglings, Anakin murdered children. We talk about child murder.
Yeah.
We don't show it the same way we don't show Bix getting, well, you know what,
like,
but it's obviously building up to it.
Don't we see Bail Organa's kid get like?
Oh, well, he's not Bail's kid, but we do see that one kid get shot. So yeah, we do see a child die.
Isn't he not Bail Organa's kid?
No, that was just some random Jedi kid. He's actually George Lucas's kid.
This action set piece, even if it's small scale, high tension.
Yeah.
And it was this great catharsis to see this guy get beat up. And Andor's learning to fly the ship even better. So at this point, he actually knows how to navigate it.
Yeah.
And he's just a little too late to save Brasso. Close up with the stormtrooper.
You never see him do the kill, but you know he did it.
He did it.
Yeah.
The stormtrooper aimed and actually hit him. Good cinematic storytelling to show it that way.
It's great.
Just a quick mention. Love the Rakatan throw there. I was like, oh my god, the Rakatan Empire. I was like, oh my god.
In the Infinite Empire,
good.
Yes.
We're bringing the Rakatan back. Oh, good.
KOTOR announced.
Oh.
Then we also have the introduction of the Empire elite wanting to do something with the Gorman people.
Yeah, so setting up the Gorman storyline. So they need it for the reactor lens. Oh, the reactor lens, you say? For what could that be for?
What did we think of the reintroduction of Krennic?
That's the one nitpick I have for the opening of the show. You needed a shot of all of those Imperial fucks sitting in that room. And you needed one of the fuckers to be like, so why are we here? Or whatever, like, you know, just like, he lost his patience. And then the door opens, you see Boots, you just see the walking, the white cape, and then, you know, and then you pan to that wide shot after you follow this, like, character. You need that moment of introduction, because when you just cut into some Imperial guy talking. Oh, it's Krennic. He's supposed to matter.
Yeah, no build up.
Krennic is supposed to kind of be, he's the guy that said, fuck it, Death Star. He's supposed to be the guy that said, hey, let's build this fucking gun. And then Emperor Palpatine was like, yeah, this guy gets it. And then Tarkin was like, okay, I can do that. Like, he's supposed to be a Tarkin type of character. Like, one of those, like, imported Tron. Like, an important, like, imperial man that really did evil things. But now he's just some guy talking in a boardroom like this. We just cut to it. There was no ceremony behind him.
It didn't bother me, but I understand that. Would have been nice. I agree. And we follow Deidre and Cyril for a little bit there, showing them.
I just love those weirdos, dude. That's just so entertaining to watch.
They're living in an apartment together, trying to like make it work for the mom to visit.
So fucking entertaining.
That was really entertaining.
I felt it's also some nitpicking from me.
Yeah.
Is I guess two things, which is like they don't use holograms that much anymore, which I kind of miss. Like they're using a lot of like TV screens or like projection screens. Like
I see what you mean.
Like what happened to the whole like I guess this is soon coming up, but like they're watching TV, Like I always felt like in Star Wars there is no TV. They use the holograms. That's their entertainment. Like there's been very little hologram-ness use in this show so far.
I see.
I don't know what you guys. I noticed that.
I haven't thought about it actually until you mentioned that, but like I have seen TVs in Star Wars, so it never like blew me away. I was always like, yeah, apparently screens are still a thing. It makes sense they still would be. But yeah, there has been like lesser holograms. Now that you say, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
I always felt that was the main form of communication in Star Wars is the holograms, and I felt like they almost never use them now.
Interesting.
That's a good
Andor.
point.
Interesting.
I wonder if it's because the poorer people don't have access to holograms or something like that. Yeah, that's a good point. They call each other on like
good point. Yeah, interesting.
They use like the not like phones, but like always like screen versions, like the basic sci-fi phone. So yeah, bring back the holograms, Star Wars.
Well, Cyril now is just like embracing the mundane, kind of boring bureaucracy job, and he's there showing the tour to someone who's there to start for the first day.
Leveled up or whatever.
He's leveled up. It's just like I'm in a different place in my life, just embracing that I'm just going to be this pawn for the Empire.
Gladly.
The mom shows up there at the house.
Great.
And I understand if people go like, oh, what is this? It's so weird. This strange tension going on. How do we show sympathy? And this mom's being like very mean to him the whole time. Deidre had no family growing up and all that. So it does explain how these people are and how they are so involved with the way the Empire's mentality is. Deidre defending Cyril for the mom, which actually that felt pretty good to see that they are a team as well.
Yeah.
And that leads into the next arc where you see that he has gone undercover.
Yeah, and Gorman for her, I guess. Hoping to get somewhere.
Yeah, I was a little confused at first. Like, why is he saying all these positive things? And then,
yeah, you're wondering like, is Cyril slowly changing by witnessing it firsthand? But no, he's there to appease Dobby Mommy.
He knows that the Gorman rebellions are listening to his calls.
Yes.
They are following his footsteps, so he's doing all of this planting. And so this is also one of those sequences that works really well when you watch it again, because you can see the little nuances in his performance and his strategy for his daily routine. And also when the Empire people come in to say, oh, there's a listening device in your office, and he can put on a performance. Like he can be a bit brave, like, oh, I'm not going to stand for this. And then the Gorman people like, we like him. Let's get him involved.
And they're also... I would say Gorman, like, and the resistance is also a very like World War II reference, like the French. They feel very French resistance, like even with their language, like it's if they went for that style of like rebellion for these guys too. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Definitely much because there were French actors they got for it, and then like they obviously the language isn't French; it is Star Wars language, but it was like based enough on French. Apparently, the actors in between takes just started speaking Gorman to each other. It's like, yeah, we can speak Gorman. Oh my god! They're like, yeah, it's like, oh my god, we can just speak Gorman.
How long did it take for you to realize that it was?
There was that little moment of and then I went, no. Star Wars has always been good of like never doing this. So, and then when I was paying attention, I went, this is made up Star Wars language.
Yeah, then it took a lot.
Gorman, Gorman comes from the old role-playing Star Wars games. It's a random planet from the old like Star Wars role-playing games that and there was some old Gorman massacre or something, and now it's being brought into canon.
This is something to be said to Tony Gilroy, because I know this is quote for when he started making Andor a few years ago, when he said that I'm not a big Star Wars fan that way, and people misquoted this by saying this is a guy who doesn't like Star Wars who's making a Star Wars show.
Yeah,
But this is a person who's actually paying way more attention to the Wikipedia page and making sure that things actually fit into place, into the continuity of the canon, than a lot of these other people do. Yeah. So stop giving him that comment, because it's not that. He's not as knowledgeable as we are about Star Wars, but he's still caring about making a good show and making sure that it stays with the lore and the mythology. And this whole Gorman thing proves that.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a fan, so to say, to do something in the medium, but as long as you research and do your work behind it, then it's fine. Like in the end of the day, sure, it's just a job, but like he's still putting the time and effort into learning all about okay, what makes this universe interesting?
Yeah.
What makes, why do people love Star Wars? And he clearly found it. So
yeah, I fully agree with that.
Precisely. And then it's just a matter of how do we present this planet that we haven't seen before. And then you bring in great care of different production levels of people. Yeah, the design, like we said, the language, the way that this whole society is built and all of it. And yeah, it's really beautiful to see just this care placed into this. It doesn't replicate other planets we've seen before. It is a new place, just as Chandrila is. Because if you look at some of these other shows, it's Book of Boba Fett and all those, it's true, they do revisit Tatooine and the places we do know. And yes, it's not a problem to see these places we know again.
So tired.
But it is very refreshing to see that you can invent new planets and new places.
Yes.
Even Coruscant can have different corners and places that feel a bit more...
It's huge.
Yeah, street level for us. We could walk there. We could walk in those little areas.
Good, I would.
You can get immersed into... You're strolling around with Cyril, going through the town square. You can see yourself being there. And that's a good thing, a good aspect.
So nice to see real locations. Like of course they have to add effects to them and add mountains for ships and buildings, but you clearly see this is a real place, and they just change some of the areas to make it Star Warsy, and it's so nice to see, and you can see where the money went into in the budget. Like they clearly filmed something here and did something here. When you compare to other shows, it's like, wait, they spent how much, and it's all just the volume.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Here you can do tracking shots. You can follow the characters walking from place to place, and you can show off the whole set, and that's way better. So finally, thank you, people making this show.
Just something. There's something more to there's something more to the screen when it's real. Like I don't know how to place or describe it, but it's just you kind of feel it more.
It's the same way people complain about wanting practical costumes in it, right? Like that we say the same thing about costumes. Like, yes, I know that looks goofy, but I want it to look goofy.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
No, exactly. You see some aliens going around.
Finally, there was a lot of aliens in this season, more than we've had in a while. So good. Look at all those fucks in the background.
This is the middle arc.
So it was definitely. I didn't like it as much. It was this. It was very much the setup for the rest of the show. What's left of the story, and it is felt.
Getting everyone to a certain place emotionally.
Yes.
Let's amp things up in the next parts, because you need this time to feel what's going to happen later. So if Biggs was going through the motions and Andor is also going through the motions, fighting a little bit with Luthen, going, I don't like what you're doing here. Do you even care about these people? They're not ready. We get that they want to rebel, but they don't understand that it's the actual Empire making them rebel, so they have a reason to attack them in the first place. And so layered. There's so many aspects you care about, and so many aspects that are still laid out. So just seeing this whole collide in the next arc is the exciting thing, to me at least. Yeah. So I don't mind spending time on this in a TV show, because that's what you can do on a TV show. So the pacing wasn't bothersome, but there was no big catharsis at the end, except for obviously the revenge against Dr. Gorst.
Yes, Biggs' revenge.
Luthen was going to send Biggs on a mission and realizes he's doing pretty bad, taking death sticks and all that. And then Andor gets mad because he was here. Luthen was here to talk to you. You don't do that, right? Luthen's like, okay, I need you both to concentrate. I need your help. So what's going to help Biggs be stronger? Well, if she gets a revenge, probably that'll do it. So they're looking out at the window, and then there's the signal of another mission that you're going to get. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if Luthen was like, I'm going to just give them the mission to take care of the guy, so that she and him are both ready to be... Could have been. Even more. So I'm curious.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't see it something that Luthen wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he's going to kill Biggs, because she's going to become a liability with the drug issue, and she's gonna become maybe too revengeful, you know what I mean? Too running gun.
Yeah, well, I wonder. That's interesting. Oh yeah, she puts on the Andor hoodie coat, blows up the place. He joins her. So he's like, yeah, I'm back behind you. He's letting go of his own biases and traumas of losing his family. And goes, fuck, I'll be behind you all the way. You want to be part of this? Then I'll let you be a part of this. Loss. So he himself is dealing with some of those ideals. He's still clearly very much into giving it to the Empire, but doesn't want to put other people in the crosshair, especially when they're like people he cares about. But luckily, he himself is setting that. I think he needed those words from Lutheran. And what I really hope to see is starting to see, hopefully, the rebellions properly starting to form more and more. Because right now we are sects. I'm pretty sure in Star Wars Rebels, when we see Mon Mothma, it was after the whole Gorman incident, actually. I think they mentioned it in Rebels. So, and that's when she's on the run proper. When we see her in Star Wars Rebels. So whatever's going to happen with the Gorman stuff is then you're going to pick up for being on the run. And she gets rescued by Rebels. So this is another piece of Star Wars media that was already being referenced already in the world.
Wasn't it Starkiller that united
all the Rebels? That was the old canon. No, that I guess isn't fully confirmed how much of that was 100% canon, how much it wasn't, because that was anyway. The thing is, I feel like there's way less for me to say about the second part of this whole thing, just because it felt like there was less there. And I don't mean that as a bad thing. I just mean it as it was so set uppy for everyone's, like Pauli said, emotional status, and like where all the it was putting the pieces where there was still that tense scene for me. Like I still find it tense when you had the scene of like the art room with them trying to remove the listening device.
Yeah,
like that was still good. I liked it. Like that was a good moment. That was a good scene. So I was like,
and the heist too.
The heist as well, yeah. I was happy with all of that. So like,
or that was more a frustrating scene, the heist.
yes.
Well, we can get to that soon.
No, go for it.
Yeah, you can go for it.
Go for it.
I'm just gonna fix my camera.
Okay.
Pauli's fixing the camera. You have me and Emilio audience.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the overall like Gorman rebel plot is because first Andor shows up, being all the cool, suave,
sexy man
character. He was a good, funny character. Getting the info straight up from the one guy, like he knows how to play people.
You learn from Luther.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I found it interesting, like the overall plot of like them, like these are clearly people that never had troubles with the Empire or any sort of like authority, except for
they're fucking silk traders.
Tarking. But like they're definitely like they're like not like weak people, but like they're
silk traders. They're not.
They
warriors.
don't know how. They don't know how to do this. So it's interesting to see like that angle of it as well. Like they want to fight, but they don't know how to.
Yeah.
And shit goes bad.
You have the one kid that's like, I don't care. I'm gonna bring my gun. Like they said, don't.
Yeah.
Like.
And what was he gonna do? Shoot like?
Yeah, like he was gonna shoot
that
friend,
guy's
like
joystick or something at the end too.
Yeah. The guy's like, what the fuck?
So yeah, because Andor doesn't do it, he sends Val.
Yeah, he sends Val and
yeah, he clearly saw that something is gonna go wrong with these guys. Like and he's probably gonna. He doesn't want to die for them, and someone else does instead. So
exactly. She dies, and it's like, oh shit, there you go. That kid gets a trauma speech thrown at him. He's never gonna forget that shit ever.
And she was probably more worth the rebellion than
he was.
30 Gormans.
I mean, she was a fighter. She was a trained soldier. Clearly, like even in the scene of them like bombing the place, was them two doing the assault. They were just there to carry the weapons. She was the one that like fucking jumps on, flips, puts the bomb on. Okay, go. Like, like you said, the actual trained soldiers, there are people that like know how to do infiltration and espionage, and then this one guy that thinks he knows what he's doing, and there you go. And
it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I mean, like, and also like the overall idea of like, as Andor says, like, but they can't fight the Empire. Like they're gonna lose, and it's like, it's true. They will lose. Like what are we supposed to do? Like how do you?
Right, and then Luther stands by what he said. Like fuck it, if they're in this case if their planet or their country fails, good. We'll show it to everyone else, so then we can fight back. Let it burn, and then we'll burn bright. And what the fuck?
Yeah,
that's when he says, "I'll skip this one." And then he sends in Val instead.
I'll see you in hell.
And it goes wrong, and I didn't mind that it was smaller scale for this part, because I know it's legal. So.
Well, in Gorman, we're going to continue. The Gorman in the next arc.
Yeah.
That's happening. Like we're not just walking away. Like we're gonna see how it all goes to shit. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And there's serial listening and reporting to the Empire, so they know.
Which will be interesting. Where will Gorman be a year from when we left it off? That is the question. They're gonna be full on like like Emilio said, like French insurgency. Like by the time we see them next time, a year later. Yeah.
It was like going to the Paris Fashion Week, but that's the Gorman planet.
Yeah. My suspicion is that we're ending it with I think for the Mothma stuff, for example, is gonna end with her really having her speech in the Senate after whatever's gonna happen in Gorman, and that's when she has to make her exit fuck off. We see her Star Wars Rebels getting picked up and moved securely while the Empire just hunts her down.
Yeah.
And then in the fourth and final arc, she's there full on like on Yavin, get us closer and closer to where we know, because
with the rebel groups from the first episode.
God, they're dead.
I think we'll see. I think they're alive. I think one of
funny.
them's gonna show up.
Oh, you left me there.
I don't think they're dead.
I saw Gerrera. Extremist man murders his own man if he has to. His dude can't really learn it, so fuck it. I'll just kill him and take this kid with me that knows how to do it instead. And then gets high on the fumes. Okay.
Yeah.
Explains why he's so fucked by the time we see him in Andor. He just in Rogue One, he's just getting high on these fucking fumes.
Oh, you think that's the fumes? I always thought he has like cancer now, so he's just like a respirator.
Oh, he's just sitting there fucking like, with a kid, like, just like, so I'm like, he's just fucking getting like fucked up from this shit, like.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's why he's so like all over the place. He's just a crazy guy.
Well, he's losing it, and now he's just fucking taking like fume drugs and shit. I told Pauli this because it was an interesting thing that I thought about. It's like in Rebels, you have an episode. All the episodes of Saw Gerrera and Rebels are him almost finding out the truth about the Death Star, which is really interesting. From him going to Geonosis, which, as we know, were the original architects for it. Although that always confused me. How the fuck does that make sense with now June Urso's dad? That always made me go a little confused. Because they clearly had the plans for it. You see it in the movies. You see the Geonosian leader give it to Dooku. And he's like,
was it that the Geonosians planned it? He like built it?
He's the engineer of it, but they were the architects.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Like that's the logic there. But
that's why he added the exhaust pipe or whatever.
Yeah. I put a secret to destroy them.
That's what he did.
Yes.
That explains so much of Saw's mindset. His insanity. He referred to this like, the sister that died and the drugs is like my way of coping. It's really good. And even when he says that the guy who looked kind of like a Swedish guy that shoots like traitor.
No, he wasn't.
I don't.
It's a lie. No, that's completely a lie. That guy wasn't a traitor. You
don't think he was a traitor?
No, the guy just because the whole point is like he wants this kid to teach this guy to like memorize these like 9 things, and he's like, I can do 1.
Yeah.
And it's like the guy's like, okay, and he's like, and then because Saw is obviously gonna kill the kid because extremists, like.
Yeah.
But then when he realizes the kid knows how to do the thing this guy can't, fuck it, I'll just kill this guy, say he was a traitor, and now take the kid with me and force him and indoctrinate him in my thing by getting him high. And getting him to join my cause because he needs this thing I need.
It felt
all right,
that way, right?
Oh, 100%. That Sven Svensson was not a traitor for shit. No.
Damn.
He was just murdered.
Okay, I mean, okay, another mind blow if that's true.
Yeah,
like...
I'm super sure that Saw just there you go, extremist. He just killed his own men. He's just a thing. Saw is not he's as bad as the Empire.
Because Tubes goes up and it was like, here's the proof right here. Like it seems like
from where? What do you mean? What? Oh yeah, my data pad. Just porn. Like it's like just tweeting porn on there. Like it's like okay.
But they believe him because
of course he's their leader. He's their fearless leader. The one that like inspires them to fight against all odds. That lost everything. That like he gets it. Like you. He's the Empire.
I love
the
smell of it.
Oh, no. Oh my God. The kid's like, I'm trying to work here, dude. Something about your naked ass like. Mining operation of your dead sister. Oh, fuck, we're gonna die.
Naked in the jungle.
Sounds like we're naked in the jungle, old man. I'm trying not to get blown up.
Was he as like crazy in the Rebels TV show as well? Or?
In Rebels, he's still extremist. Like he's there, like I'll kill this fucking Geonosian, and they're like, whoa, Saw, what the fuck? And and whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then like he like sends his little like recording to Mon Mothma on Yavin, like it's like we have to fight the Empire. And then she would go. Then she has a moment goes like, but if we become like them, what are we fighting to become? And he's like, there's the fire. What was that in the Senate? Like he's all like he just gets all horny from getting her mad. So like he is still like an extremist in Rebels, but except for like he doesn't have his entourage to have him murder indiscriminately. But then like, when they find the crystal, they find a giant kyber crystal in Rebels. Him, Ezra, and Sabine, and then like he's like, no, I have to find out where this goes. And then of course it's just like a middle transport for it because the Emperor's smart not enough to bring us straight there. And he's like, damn it! And because he can't just stick around, he just grabs Ezra's lightsaber and slashes it. And then he goes, if I were your kids, I'd better get out of here. Then he fucks off, and then Ezra and Sabine have to escape themselves from there. Then the crew comes and saves them. We see the crystal crystal explode and do like this giant destroy like the Star Destroyer and everything.
Okay. I remember him being mean.
He was an asshole, and it's like, I'll kill this last year in ocean. It's like, well, fuck, shouldn't we not exterminate the last?
But it wasn't
like
crazy ass.
He was crazy, but it wasn't like as bad or whatever. But he was still like, but out of everyone in that group, he was trying to indoctrinate was the kids. Come, children, I'll take you on an adventure with Uncle Saw. Like he was taking the kids with Uncle Saw.
Like, see how the continuity makes sense then.
It is,
with the
of course, because the adults are like, bro, stop, and he's like, no, like it's like,
Of course, he opens up to him about it, so he can see him as a big, inspiring kind of character. But to everyone else, he doesn't do that. So like this show is good at deepening Saw just as a character.
Yeah,
and it's like okay, he's off the deep end. That makes him.
We only have so many Saw representation moments, which include Andor, which includes the Andor so far, which includes Rebels and the few episode arcs he's had. Which includes, of course, Clone Wars, where we actually get to the character's origin comes from.
Yeah, when he's
and then, of course, the little bit we get of him in what's the movie called? Rogue One, which was very, who are you? What is happening? Oh, and you're dead. Okay. But now, hopefully, a lot more of this gets context, and actually the little bit of the little cameo we get to see of him in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, because he's there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wait. Kashyyyk, right?
Yeah. He's there fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot, but that's true.
He's there like, who are you? It's like, I'm a Jedi. The Jedi are dead. And it's like, it shows the lightsaber. It's like, you get that off a corpse? I'm like, it's like my master gave it. It's really funny. The Jedi are dead. It's like, you get that off a corpse. Like,
who are you, David? I never really know.
So a piece of me is wondering, he's like, does Cal know how crazy this man is? And did he give Cal a little like high session too?
The cameras are running out here, but we did a pretty long episode about the first half of Andor Season 2, which we do recommend you check out.
Yes.
In the next one of these videos, we'll go over some Star Wars comments, and we're gonna have our own commentary about the comments and go a bit deeper into some of the filmmaking aspects from the George Lucas days and do some comparisons to the modern age of Star Wars. So that'll be good.
All right, next Star Wars discussion video, whenever that is, soon.
That'll be in that'll be when the next batch of Andors.
Probably will be good. There'll probably be more to discuss, I think, as we approach the ending.
And trust us, we know about Star Wars filmmaking.
We do.
Watch our Star Wars fan film.
Let us know what you think about the format of having 3 people talking at once. Hopefully it worked out pretty well. I know I disappeared there for a little moment. I had to fix my own camera. But I let these guys...
My first episode.
Hurrah! You're here. A Death Film member. All 3 Death Films members.
Yeah, true. It's the first Depth Talk with the 3 DVDs.
The boys.
So thank you for checking out.
Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Depth Talk.
Enjoy Star Wars. Moderate.
Yeah, and like, comment, subscribe. Write what you thought about our opinions. If they're right or wrong.
Your subjective experience of Star Wars that is linked to your nostalgia and childhood does not mean that it retroactively changes it with the evolution of the format and the context that we live in. Remember that, for fuck's sakes. And that goes for every piece of media.
That's right, David.
Thank you.
That's right, there. See you on the next.
See you, and may the Force be with you.
See you on the next Angry Depth Show.
Now that's a Star Wars.